generated for, and I would list the names, for example, Alex, for the user, Alex, password, change me, user, John, password, change me, and so forth, okay? This is very simple output. It says accounts generated, and these are the user IDs, and these are passwords, right? We just display that as simple as this. This is the simple, not very fancy, okay? But accept. If you just give me the names, bunch of names, I would ask, okay, these are names. These are names for what? These are names that accounts are generated for. These are names that are deleted from the system. These are the names that accounts for them could not be generated, right? Let's say these are the names that accounts are generated. What are the passwords? Okay? So you need to do this. Normally, what DBA does, the DBA dumps this into the file, and get a printout from it. Just as a reference or something, okay? So very easily, this output could be dumped to the file, and by one glance, you can say, oh, okay, these are the users, and these are the passwords, right? Okay? If somebody in the future calls you and say, my name is Alex, would you check if the account is created for me and what my password is? Sure. You have a list. You say, oh, Alex, oh, account is created for you, and password is what? Change. See that? So you can make your job easy. Now, let's go for the other part. Deleting, okay? We are deleting the group of users and no output. It means what? Job is deleted, not deleted, what happened, right? Program is stopped in the middle, okay? No indication of whatever is done at all, okay? Just quiet, not good. The other students made output like accounts deleted. Okay, what accounts? Okay, account deleted. What are the name of the accounts, right? So if I wanted to do that, I would say, for example, accounts deleted for the following, right? Or following accounts are deleted. Something like that. Okay? Removed or deleted or dropped, whatever. And something like this. And I would say, for example, Alex, John, David, or something. This is one type of art. Or if you do not want to make it like that, you could say Alex deleted John deleted David and so forth, okay? But by one glance everybody would know these are all gone, right? Clear? Okay. This is all of it. I'm going to give you back your homework assignment. Suyen Kathleen Wen, Sylvia Won, W-U-N. Why they are separate? Program and output. I like them to staple together because when I see this, the very first thing I look at is the output. Where is the output? I cannot find it. Now after that I find somewhere else. So normally they are together. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jeff Henry. Adriano. Dong Myung-on. Irina. Oksana. Fontaine Lam. Jian Bin Li. Edgardo. Wayne Lam. Jiayu Chen. Thank you. Suyin Yuan. This is the one that was discarded already. And the other one, handbook paper number 1, Suyin Yuan. Okay, you're welcome. Okay. Guys, recently, not recently, but about maybe a couple of months ago, we received the very beautiful laptop from Microsoft. We have heard about Microsoft is a very beautiful laptop. Okay, it's called Surface Book. They have also Surface Pro. Okay. When I looked at the laptop, I thought, oh, there is unusual similarities between Microsoft laptop and Apple laptops, MacBook Pro and MacBook and MacBook Air and stuff like that. Okay? Very obvious similarities. The more I played with the new Microsoft stuff, I found more similarities. Okay, very similar. You feel okay, and price-wise is of course more expensive than Apple. Okay, more expensive than Apple. That in my opinion very pricey. This is available. Okay, but I was thinking that why actually imitating is not a good idea, right? You need to generate. You need to make your own style, not just imitate whatever Apple already made, right? People who are using Apple now, for example, like this guy, definitely is not going to go and buy Microsoft, which is very similar to that. Okay, so it's happy, right? You should bring something new. Otherwise, uniqueness is something that it really is valuable, right? Be unique, be yourself. Okay. There are many teachers teaching in our school. Many. There are thousands of them. But one of them is Abbas. I am just myself, right? I don't imitate anybody, and it has been my style for years. Some people like it, some people hate it, right? But that's it. This is Abbas, right? And in the future, if you take courses again with me, it's going to be the same thing over and over. Anyway, this was, I just want to tell you about this machine. This is very elegant, very good, but a little bit pricey, and nothing new in my opinion. Okay, I was talking about, I was talking to the department chair, and maybe some of you would know that very soon the schedule for the spring semester will be available for you guys, okay? And we have made a variety of good courses for you guys to be taught and offered in this coming semester, in the spring semester. Department chair asked all of us to just spend maybe a couple of minutes to talk about the courses that we're offering, okay? To just inform students what courses are being offered and if they want to take it or not. I'm going to offer the following courses that possibly might relate to you. Those of you who are taking advanced we are taking Java and you want to go for advanced Java, I'm offering CS211E, which is the advanced Java for enterprise edition. Okay, it's an enterprise version of Java, which is made for client, server, and internet environment. This is very, very good course, and extremely popular. Normally, this class is packed with students. Okay, right here from 7 to 10, and this is a very good course. If you want to take it, welcome. Okay, I think we are offering this every Tuesday night. Okay, Tuesday from 7 p.m. There is CS211D, which is the introduction to Android programming for cell phones, tablets, TVs, and wristwatch. This is a great course, very good course. If some of you are looking for cell phone applications and like to learn how to write cell phone application, this is a very good course for you guys, and doing that. Some of the students, about half of the students in this class already took this course with me. They know what kind of course is that, okay? Extremely good. I highly recommend if you really are looking for a job and you want to learn about the highest technology available, take this course talking about Android cell phone programming. Advanced version of this will be also available or offered, 311E. This is the advanced Android programming. We are not offering this course every semester, okay? And many students who took 211D with me are desperately waiting for this course. They send me email many times that we are waiting for that. Where or when are you going to offer that? Good news that we are offering this coming spring, okay? In this class, every Thursday evening, okay? Every Thursday from 7 to 10 in this class, okay? It's great course. If you have already taken introductory course in Android, you could complete your knowledge about Android programming by taking this, okay? We are talking a lot about really nice technologies in Android programming. I highly recommend you take it, okay? Any comment or question about this? Okay, available, you could take it. Okay. Last week, we were talking about a backup. Do you remember the subject was backup? Some of the students send me email and ask me questions about one specific topic that I covered last time. I said we have a table, right? And we want to convert it to a text file. You remember? And how to do that? And it was, I showed it to you that we're using select into auth file. You remember? Select into auth file, such and such file, right? But some of the students wanted to know if there is any way that we could make specific type of text file. For example, you want to create the comma separated value file. We call it CSV file, comma separated value. Okay? Or we want to, for example, convert our file into some very specific type of file. For example, we want to put double slashes in front of each record. Okay? Or we want to put everything vertically instead of horizontally. Or we want to do a lot of things, okay? So the questions that the student asked me after the class was, how is it possible that we have a control on the text file that is being generated by this command? The answer is yes. You have a lot of different controls over the file that you want to generate. Let me give you some examples here, okay? Let's say I have a data, I have a table, and I want to dump it into a file. Select A, comma, B, comma, A plus B into art file A, B, C, D, dot txt. Okay. Field terminated by comma. It means you want to put comma between each field. Okay. Optionally, enclosed by, let's say, double quotation mark. Lines terminated by new line from test table. We have a table, it's called test table. It has some fields, and in this example, I'm just picking field A and field B of this file, okay? All and whatever A and B are. And I want to put A and B and also some of them into the file, okay? And these are the options that possibly are available. Fields terminated by comma, it means I want to put comma between it, right? If there is any string, I want to have double quotation mark around it, right? I want each line being separated by new line, okay? Following. If, for example, you want to create a Microsoft file, you should say each line should be separated by \r \n. In Microsoft, in the Windows file, each record is separated by carriage return followed by new line. But in Unix, Linux, and Mac, is only \n new line. So it depends on how you want the file being created from test. Okay. So now a new file is created, and these are the stuff that you put there, okay, comma between the fields and stuff like that. Okay. Now, you could also use where clause, for example. You could say where A plus B less than 100. Okay? You could make any condition which you want, okay? You could use regular expression if you want, where a regex p such and such, okay? You could use regular expression if you want in your where class. So the where you could put whatever you want, any kind of condition which you want. You could use limit to limit number of records. Okay, you could say limit 20. It's going to make maximum 20 records for you. Okay, by using limit at the end. Okay. You could pick certain lines from your, or certain records from your table to dump into your file, not all of the records, okay? For example, let's say I have these records. Let's say you have a table, okay, like that. Have a table like this. So we have that kind of information, right? And you want to, what kind of, and you have several, these are the records in a table, right? Records in a table. What's going to happen if I say, right over here, in this line, I say lines, I have it here, lines starting by for example, XXX. Okay, right over here, I said lines starting by XXX. Okay. You know what it means? It means this line should work for me. This line, the system is going to ignore this one completely and assume this is the line, right? And it doesn't have XXX, this record will be completely what? Ignored, okay? So if you want to select certain records, not all of them, you could make a condition, but lines starting by. You don't have lines ending by. You have only lines starting by, okay? So this, so in this case, the system is gonna pick this. This is your record. The system doesn't go for XXX. XXX is just a signal, okay? So this part will be taken into consideration. This is your actual record that the system is going to take care, and not this line. So lines started by XXX. It means this, but only this part of it, because XXX will not be part of your record, okay? You're using it just as the pointer, okay, as a selector, okay? And this, in this case, the system totally ignores this, and this is your actual record, okay? And this line doesn't have any access, it's going to be. I'm going to give you more information about that. There are a lot of options available. Yes?
Are we talking about one column, or are we talking about several columns?
Well, these are different columns. One column, one column, one column. Okay. Another column, another column, another column. Bunch of columns, because you have recording concept, bunch of columns. Okay. Column. But when you are trying to dump it to a file, the system is going to go line by line. It is record by record. Doesn't matter how many fields you have. Follow me? Record by record. Okay? And this is very important that you just get rid of a bunch of the records and without using them or dumping them to your file. I'm going to go back to this again. But one thing I wanted to tell you, which is very important, was we sometimes you are working with kind of table like, are you familiar with blobs? Blob table? No? Anybody knows what blob tables are? B-L-O-B, blob?
Binary.
Binary what?
Data.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Blobs refer to tables for non-textual data. Let's say these days you are able to create table of music, table of pictures, table of movies, right? It's not necessarily everything should be employee, okay, or personal. You could make table of variety of different data, right? Blobs refer to those kind of non-textual data, okay? Blob. When you are declaring your field as a blob, it means that field would contain any non-textual data. For example, movie. For example, music, right? Okay? If I ask you, for example, to create a table of all of the rap musics from Eminem, suppose. Eminem is a very good rap singer, right? And has made many different pieces of music, right? And if you want to ask, if you want to create a table of all of the Eminem's rap musics, okay? How are you going to make that table? That table cannot have textual data because that is music, right? Music that you're downloading and listening to, right? How are you going to put this music into your table? Okay? In this case, definitely you have to have, for example, two fields. One would be name, that would be what? Eminem, and music should be whatever you're downloading, right? Whatever you're downloading is non-textual. Definitely should be declared as blob, B-L-O-B. Okay? When you're creating a table, not always should be integer, long, short, double string. Blob, B-L-O-B. Let me write down for you. The reason that I did not bring this up was I was thinking that you guys are familiar with that, because I was thinking that you guys have, in your previous courses related to database or mySQL, you have learned about what blobs are, okay? So anyway, what I wanted to say that, let's say you have a table, right, which has this kind of data, table of movies, table of music, and so forth. And now you want to dump it to a text file. What are you going to do? Okay? You want to dump it to a text file. What are you going to do? Let me show you what to do. You need to use instead of odd file, you need to use dump file. Okay? So whenever you use dump file instead of odd file, you know what's going to happen? When you use dump file, the system does not, actually all of the records, everything would be on only one line. The system is not going to go for several records. It means the entire table which you have will be concatenated together in one line. Okay? So it means the contents of this file, this dump file, is only one complete line, long line, okay? Bunch of characters in it. There would be no new line, there would be no formatting characters, there would be no any of those. It's just bunch of junk stuff, For us, it looks like junk, right? All together in one record, okay? Which represents rap music or movie or whatever, okay? So, the bottom line is whenever you want to, you have a bunch of textual type of data, integer, string, short, long, double, this kind of things, you could use art file. And you're going to create a regular text file, right? Like comma separated value. But if you are dealing with non-textual tables, okay, like blob table or something, you cannot use art file. You need to use dump file. Yes.
In this case, the file name is going to be .dump or .text.
It really doesn't matter. The system is gonna. This could be. You could use dump, but you still could use txt, because what is gonna happen? The system is gonna put all of those characters, junk characters, in your file together in one line, without separation or anything. Okay, all in one line.
But if I have in my table one column name of singer
Definitely.
and song,
Exactly. You could
then I use dump file and
exactly.
my string of name of
Yes.
singer and song concatenate.
Correct. A good question. Even though if, for example, your table consists of names and type of music, names, for example, M&M and music, it means string and blob, right? Still, you need to use dump file, okay, and whatever way you like. And in this case, the point is, no formatting will be done. Everything will be only one long record, okay? Now, my question is, now you have made this file, right? How are you going to use it?
You gotta write a program to go through it and get what you want out of it.
You really don't have to. You don't have to write a program. Because if you do it, this is going to be kind of reinventing the wheel, right? No, you don't have to. I'm going to show you how to do it tonight, okay? Which is very, very interesting approach to that, okay? How to do that. Yeah.
So in this case, we still need the lines terminate by new line?
Well, in this case, system completely ignores all of these because there would be no, because when you're using a dump file, it means no formatting whatsoever will be done. So you cannot say terminated by comma.
So you can skip the line and just put
You
the...
could just remove completely all of it. You could
Industrializing.
remove fields, you could delete that, you could delete this. Because for binary file, normally there is no format. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this in a moment. Are you guys familiar with mySQL variables? For example, at X. Yes, no? Okay. Some of you say yes, obviously.
Stuff to read.
Nice haircut.
Oh,
Very, very good. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, so let's go back to value. Whenever you want to save some data in your temporary location, in temporary variable, you are using the @ sign. For example, you're going to use you're going to use set at position equal 0. It means you're creating a variable, okay? It's called POS, and set it to 0, okay? And after you could say, select at position equals at position +1, comma, name, comma, age, from info. Let's say you have a table, it's called info, and what is going to happen is, this is very interesting. The system is going to put line numbers for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Because this is 0, right? The system is going to add 1 to it now, it's going to be what? 1. So display 1, followed by John, followed by 18. Next record, the system is gonna, it was 1, now 1 plus 1 is gonna be 2. So 2, Alex, 45, 3, David, for example, 15, 4, Abbas, 85. Let's say I'm 85. Okay? See that? This is very interesting. You're using a value, okay? This is very, very interesting. So whenever you want to assign some data to your variable and use it later, use that. Okay? This is really, really.
It is session variable, not what.
These are values.
Temporary.
Good point. It means as long as you are in your mySQL session, you are not logged out. This is there. You log off. Okay.
So,
Yes.
is there anything before the equal sign there? Is there like a, supposed to have a
You
colon there?
mean right over here?
Yeah, what's up with the
Yeah.
colon?
It is colon equal.
What's that mean?
It means assignment. It's
Oh.
assignment, okay? You cannot use equal sign, because equal sign inside the query means equality. Something is equal something, right? John equal Abbas, right? But for assignment, we are using colon equal. If you do it like that, it means you're comparing this against this, which doesn't make sense, right? So, but here, this is not equality, this is just assignment, okay, instead. So whenever you want to assign something to your variable, use set, and after that, you could use it for whatever purpose you like, okay? Let's say you want to create a multiplication table. You could do it very easily, because you could say this equal this times that, could use star for multiplication and so forth, and do any kind of arithmetic that you want here and print display. It's very nice trick. See that you could just put line number in front of your lines, as simple as this. So this was about variable. You could make as many variables as you want and use them. Okay. Anybody has any comment or questions so far? No? Okay. Let's continue. Okay. We learned about how to dump our table into a file, right? We started last time, we finished it tonight. Now, we could do the opposite job of it. It means we have a file and we want to dump it to here, right? We have a file You want to dump it to a table. And that is going to be your homework assignment. Your new homework assignment, which I'm going to give. We have a file, you want to dump it to a table. Okay? First thing is you need to create a table. You need to create a table. It means you have to create a structure of a table. Okay? Empty table. No data. And now you have a file, you want to dump your file into the table. Okay? See what it is. There are two ways that I can give you in mySQL. One is using the load data in file. Let me give you instruction. Can I delete the board here, guys? Everybody took notes? Okay. Load data in. Load data in file is exactly opposite of select into auth file. Select into auth file is going to dump your table into a file. Load data in file, it's going to dump your file into your table. Exactly opposite. Okay? So let's calculate. We have load data. Okay. And there are some options. Let me give you the options. These are options. You could use them, you could not use them. The options which you are using would be, I'm going to put the options inside the bracket because these are optional. You could say low priority, or you could use concurrent, okay? This is one of the options. You could use this or this, okay? We could, there is another option that I can offer you that is using local, which is very important. Okay? So you could use low priority, you could use concurrent, you could use local. These are different options, okay, that you could use. Now, first of all, low priority. What does that mean? It means if somebody is actually, it means if your system is very busy with a lot of transactions, okay, many people are using it, don't do it right away, because do this job is gonna really slow down the other users. So wait when the load of your MySQL is getting lighter. It means not too many users on the system after I start doing that, okay? Because it's not rush. Following? So by doing that, the job of loading your file into a table is going to take much longer because you put it in a low priority, but it would speed up the others' operations, okay? Okay? I remember when I was doing this late at night, I knew that it takes, I have about 7 or 8 hours to do this job. So plenty of time. So I was putting in low priority and relax, okay? Not rush. I was starting at 12 midnight, and I knew that by 8 in the morning, when everybody comes to work, job is almost done, right? You're completely done. So you could put low priority to lower down the, to not really put pressure on the other users. If you use concurrent is speeding up your job, okay, concurrent. Let me tell you what concurrent is. This load data internally will use insert into a table. Do you remember insert? Because the job of load data is inserting to your table, right? Inserting data to your table. And do you remember I said we have two types of insert? One is insert one set of items at a time, or you could put many set of items by one insert. Okay? Do you remember? Okay? Let me remind you. Insert into, for example, A, B, C, D, values, for example, John, comma, 38. If you do it like that, if you are putting only one. If you have many records, you have to use many inserts, right? But I said you could do it like that. Let's say comma, Alex 42, comma, for example, Sue 18, right? In this case, by one call, you are doing 3 insertions, right? And that is going to really speed up. So when you are using concurrent, the system internally will use that, okay? It's going to use one insert. It means several records concurrently will get into your table, not one at a time. Okay?
Load data, is it mySQL count? Should it have a semicolon after that?
Semicolon after what? After here?
Yeah.
I haven't finished it. It's just, it's a very long story. Yeah, I have to put many other things, and after that, semicolon. I'm just in the middle of it.
Yeah,
All I said was trying to tell you what these options are, but there are many other things to cover, okay? Okay, so I just thought, right, now I'm here, okay, concurrent, okay? So we learned about low priority, we learned about concurrent. Now, local, okay? When you are using local, it means the data file is located in your same client machine. Don't go to the server machine to pick a data file, okay? Understand? Let's say you have a data file, it's called do it, right? Do it. If you do not use local, the system is going to go to the server, God knows where the server is, looking for do it. Okay? Maybe you can find it, maybe you cannot find it. But if you use local, it means don't go to a server somewhere, look for do it. Do it is right over here in this computer, in the client computer. Okay? So when you are using hills or when you are using silver or copper, you definitely need to use local, because in these machines, client server are all in the same machine, okay? Clear? Okay.
I have
Yes.
a quick question. Can you do your backup to the server? Can you say like make a backup, put the file on the server?
You could, definitely.
MySQL, you would have to be root or have privileges to do it, or will MySQL just do it?
Well, you do not need to be root to do it, but you need to have certain privilege, otherwise no problem. You could do it. In fact, Oracle says never be root when you are doing that specific action. It's not very secure. Be yourself, but make sure that you have that specific privilege to.
Where does it put the file?
Where?
Yeah, just in MySQL by default.
Wherever your destiny. Well, you mean in what directory? Well, very good question. When you are doing that, you have to have account on that remote server, okay? And your file is gonna go to the login account, okay? It means when you log into that server, wherever you get in, okay? Pardon?
The home directory.
Yes,
of the
home directory. You call it home directory of the remote machine. Yeah. Let's continue into some of the options available. Okay, so we learned about look. Look, now continuation. So you could use this or this, okay? And local if you want. You're going to use in file, whatever the file name is. This is the file name that you're getting information from. The file name that you get information from, because you want to get information from this file and dump it to your table. Into table, any table name, TB name. Okay. Now you could go for again bunch of restrictions on the, for example, fields. These are optional. Fields terminated by such and such string. Fields terminated by period. Fields terminated by comma. Whatever, okay? Optionally, enclosed by such and such character, whatever the character is. And also you could use escaped by whatever character is. These are all optional. You could do that. Okay? The lines. Lines starting by. Such and such string. Again, this is optional. Or you could say terminated by such and such string. Okay? So these are all of the options that are available you could use when you are using load data. Let me give you the homework assignment about this subject, and after that we continue here. Okay, before I forget. This is a new homework assignment that we are using. The subject is about backup and recovery. We are still in the subject of backup and recovery. What we need to do is we want to actually transfer our password file to a table. You want to transfer our password file to a table. Okay, let me tell you what it is. In Unix, Linux, and Mac OS X, we have a password file. This password file is this, located in etc directory, and it's called passwd. Okay? File. Okay. This file exists in all of the Unix, Linux, and Mac OS X. For example, on the Silver and on Copper, this file exists and has information about all of you guys. All of you guys have account on Silver and Copper, okay? If you have account on any computer, information about you is saved in the password file. So password file is a text file readable by everybody, okay? And each record in this file belongs to one of the users. Okay? Normally the first record on top belongs to root. Okay? Belongs to root. Okay? And the next record belongs to God knows what. Okay? Bunch of files. Okay. Now, what we need to do in this homework assignment is we want to transfer the contents of the Pascal file to the table. Okay? The table. This table is the one that you need to create, right? When you finish running your application, your program, your script, shell script, whatever, okay? At the end of the job, a table is created, which is populated with all of the data from what? Pascal, okay? This is very useful because we could run a lot of different queries on that table. For example, I would say select those user IDs begin with letter A. So all of you user IDs in this class begin with letter A in this way. Select, for example, those users who are using bash as the, select those users whose IDs are even numbers, okay? And many different things we could do with this table, okay? It's very, very handy. So our job is writing the script or writing the program or whatever you want to call it. So when you run it, it's going to create this, okay? Once this is created, we're going to run some queries, okay, to see if it's working or not, okay? Clear? For example, one of the queries that we need to do is counting how many records are in this table. You could say select count star from passwd is a table that you have created, right? And it's going to show you how many records are there, right? Okay? Since all of you guys, for example, are using either silver or copper, and these two servers are almost mirror of each other, let's say, suppose there is exactly 38 users in a password file. So this should give you what? 38 for all of you guys. If she gives me 42, she gives me, for example, 45, something. For example, right? Okay? So this is one of the queries that we could write. Okay? Follow? Or we could say select those records that name begins with what? Letter A, regular expression. And it's going to show me all of the records belong to a such and such user. Okay?
We have to include this query inside our script.
You mean, well,
or it's like check after script.
well, which one do you think is better? What I did with it, I wrote this was the first part of my script would just download this into what? Into a table. And the second part, conducting some or running some queries. So when I was running the application, everything was done, right? All in? Because anyway, you need to give me this and sample of output, right? If you put them together in one script, much easier, right? Okay. Much easier. But in order to load your password file into your table, you need to know a lot about the nature of the password file. Otherwise, you cannot do that, right? Follow it? Okay. First of all, password file or text file, you could take a look at them. All available in etc directory. Okay?
Are they encrypted?
Pardon me?
Are they encrypted?
Not at all. Everything is readable. Nothing is encrypted. Okay? Nothing. Okay? Now, you could take a look at it right now. It's here. Actually, Adriana can look at it. Let's go to Etsy even on Hills, you could take a look at it. On Hills, of course, the password file is gigantic because it has more than 34,000 students using it. So see how big it is, okay? So we don't do it on Hills because our tables would be huge, right? We're going to do it on silver or on copper. Table would be about 30, 40 record at least, not more. Yes?
Do you have a backup for this file?
Backup for this file?
Yeah.
Well, there is no need for backup. You know why? Because this file is only readable by everybody, but not writable. So no way that any of you guys be able to damage this file. So no, there is no need. And the other thing is, this file automatically is being backed up by the operating system every day. So you don't have to worry about it at all. Okay? So, second. Now, you need to know what is structure of the password files, okay? Record for each user. So it means 38 record or 40 record if you have 40 users, right? Now, each record in the password file consists of how many fields, guys? 7. 7 fields. Okay? 7 fields. Fields are separated by colon. Am I right?
That's 6.
So you're going to find out 7 should be 7.
Password.
Okay? Password field is there too. Okay? So there are 7 fields, okay? Separated by colon, right?
Oh, there's one empty one here. Sorry.
Right? Colon is it. So colon separates the fields from each other. 7 fields, separated by colon, right? Okay. You need to know all of these, otherwise you cannot make a table. The first field is called the login ID or user ID field. Your login ID. Okay? A-Moktan. John Len 05. The first field is the login ID or user ID field. Okay? Okay? This field traditionally could not have more than 8 characters. Traditionally, could not have more than 8 characters. It means length of this field would be 8. But unfortunately, in some cases I have seen this field is a little bit longer than 8 characters, okay? Which is totally non-standard. I'm telling you because when you're creating your table, you have to say, for example, field number 1 is what? Is varchar or char, length of it 8. Okay, you have to specify that. Okay, so I think in our table there is nothing longer than 8. If you look at all of the fields, if the first field. Okay, everybody is in. So let's write it down for you. I'm going to answer the question in a moment because maybe we're going to run out of time. So you have to have the exam tonight too. Okay, midterm exam right after the break. Okay. The first field is, we call it login ID or user ID field. Let's call it user ID. Okay. User ID field, and that is 8 characters long. Okay, 8 characters long. Now, the second field is called password field. Okay, password field. In the past, password field was really your password, of course, encrypted password in the past, on those good days. Now, password field is just junk. It's either empty or X or some star or something in it. What is
X?
X? Yeah.
When did that
Okay.
change?
Nothing else. Okay. So you could use password field as 1 character long. Okay. Varchar 1. Okay. In the past was 12 bytes, but now it's gone. The next field is called user ID. Well, this was your called UID. Okay, user ID field. User ID field is a number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? And it goes all the way up to approximately 65,000, okay? So you could use INT would be totally okay, integer. Okay, integer for that. Is a number, okay? The next ID, and of course, user IDs are unique. It means you cannot find any two records with the same user ID. User ID is record. You have your own user ID, she has her own user ID, everybody has his or her own unique, okay? Root has user ID of what? 0, okay? So if any account has user ID of 0, it means that account is what? Root.
Which one of those user IDs is primary key?
This is user ID. This is actually, let's call it
Username.
login ID. Okay, let's make sure you are logging in. Okay. Login ID is the Jalin05, A Mokhtan. Okay. Always 3 for you, right? That is varchar 8.
Okay, and look, primary key is login ID, not username.
Primary key. Primary key, if you want to use it, user ID. Because user ID is unique. Okay, it's unique. You cannot find two user IDs the same. Okay. Now, the next one would be group ID. GID. GID is also integer. But not necessarily should be unique. For example, all of you guys in this course would have one group ID, okay? Belong to one specific group. So it could not be unique, any number, okay? The next one, field number 5, is called the comment field. Okay? Comment field. Comment field has extra information about the user. Your complete full name, last name, first name. If you are working, for example, in a company, in what floor you are working, in what department you are working, your phone number, your home address, any kind of extra information that you want, you could put into here, right? In many companies, the system administrator has a responsibility to provide enough information here, okay? Enough information here. Because there is the Unix command, it's called finger, okay? That by using finger, you could get a lot of information about each user. So the finger command gets its information from this field, okay? You could finger me, in Unix you call it finger somebody. You could go to for example, log into here and type finger a Mokhtan. And give you all information about that.
But this one should be varchar and it should be deleted.
You mean comment?
Yeah.
I haven't completed it. You're a little bit ahead of my head, okay? Just one moment, I'm going to tell you. Can you, 1 minute? So, in comment, there is no limit, okay? Now, we need to, of course, in standard Unix, comment field is set to 256 characters. 256 characters. But we don't need that long, okay? Because our table is going to be very big. So we could limit it to smaller. How about making it at most 32 characters long, okay? 32 or something like that. We don't need that much. Your last name and first name together won't be more than 32. varchar 32. And the next one, this is field number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're getting field number 6. Field number 6 is called home directory. Home directory. It means when you log into your system, where you're going to get it. Okay? Home directory. Home directory. Okay, home dir. And home directory normally is you don't have to have very long home directory. Set it to 32 as well, 32 bytes. Okay, varchar 32. For example, home directory would be user home John, user home Alex, something like that. Okay? And finally, the last field. Can you guess what the last field is? Anybody?
It's your shell.
Shell, exactly. The last field is shell. Okay? Shell. That means what shell you are using, okay? Of course, the full path of the shell, for example, would be user bin bash, suppose, or bin bash, something like that, okay? Set it to again 32, we don't need to have longer than that, okay? And that is gonna make your tape, okay? So the very first thing that you need to do in your shell script is create a table. Of course, you need to say create a table if not exist. Otherwise, if you run it a couple of times, you're gonna get error, okay? And you're gonna have the table like that. How many fields do you need? You could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields, right? If you want, 7 fields. And these are the type of the fields. So you're gonna make this table, okay? And now, after the table is made, your job is loading the password file into your table. Yes.
What is the database should be used for this purpose?
What database? Your own database.
Okay.
Yes, everybody, I'm using mine, you're going to use yours. Everybody has his or her own database, right? Yeah, use your, you don't need to, you do this, you don't need to have any power, you don't need to be root, you don't need to be super. You could just use your own, because this file is accessible and readable by everybody. And you could create a table in your own database and test it, right? Clear? Okay? Now, anybody has any comment or questions so far? So what is going to be the good name for your shell script or your program?
File to table,
File table?
file to table,
File to table?
file to table.
Load users.
Load what?
Users.
Load users? Any good name?
Password file.
Password file?
Pass WD import.
Password file. It's a table. Well, I call it this. If you call it, if you like the one that I call it, if otherwise you could do whatever. I called it MK WD. This is the one that I call it. MK pass WD table. Make password table. This is the one that I call it. You like it that way, use it this way. Otherwise, call it whatever appropriate you are, if you like it. Name of this script doesn't really matter. Yes?
So this table will not have any argument, right?
It does not have any argument. What does
So
that
we
mean?
don't need to enter any parameter. We just type
To
it.
run.
It's just
To run, just run and
Just run it and that's it. If there is no argument, no command line argument, no option, nothing. When you run it, all it does is gonna get information from here and dump it into your table. Your password table is gonna be what? PassWD, right? PassWD is your table name, right? So etsy PassWD file will be dumped into what? Your password table, right? You could use load data if you want, okay, which is very simple. And there's another way that I can explain it, yes.
How about if you run it the second time? Should it produce any message?
If you're running out of time,
Like the second time?
Second time, again, repeat.
well, for the second time, well, you don't have to put any message. What you're gonna do is, there are two ways you could do that, okay? What I did, the way that I do is, whenever you run it, it's gonna remove the old table and create a new table from scratch, okay? Whenever you run it. And this is the way that we do it in many companies, because password file is always under some changes. Always some new employees are coming to company, we are creating accounts for them. Some old ones are gone, or dead, or retired, or whatever, changed their job. So password file always is being changed, right? So whenever you run it, you need to create a new table, okay? So the best way is at the beginning, you get rid of the old table, after create a new table, okay? Populate the data, and after go for test, okay? Select the number of rows and this and that, okay? Follow me?
Okay.
That's as simple as this, okay? Any comment or question so far? Okay, now the only thing that you need to know is what technique we are using to do this job, right? What technique we are using to do this job. We are using load data. This is one way, okay? The other way, if you want to do, is there is the special program made for MySQL, specifically made for MySQL, and that is called MySQL import, which I'm going to show you how to do that. You could use either this or that, okay? So you could use load data to do this, okay? So you're going to have load data, local, don't forget. So you're going to use load data, local, in file, passwd, okay? Into table passwd. The file name should be etsy passwd. Into passwd, fields terminated by colon. Fields terminated by colon, optionally enclosed by what?
Optional enclosed.
There's nothing
There's nothing
enclosed, okay? Because none of the fields are enclosed by anything. Escaped by, none of the fields are escaped by anything. Lines starting by, you don't care about that. Terminated by new line. Okay? And that's it. Actually, I wrote the whole thing.
So
Right.
we don't
Yes,
need
sorry.
optionally fields or optionally escaped, line starting.
We don't need that. We don't need, because none of these items are escaped. Let me tell you what escape means, okay? Let's say you have this kind of information. I don't. Okay? Let's say you want to put this, field number 1, field number 2, field number 3. Let's say you want to put field number 3 into your table, right? As you see, it has \t, right? This is going to cause a problem, okay? Following is going to cause a problem. So what normally the user should do is this should be like that. You have to escape it followed by that. Okay, so the user has to modify his data file like this, okay? And now you say escaped by backslash. It means this is the escape character they're using, right? So you are reading this data and you need to know what it is, okay? Following? So when you're loading this into your table, the result is gonna be this. The system automatically will remove what? Backslash. But the provider of the data for you should have that information, okay? Following, otherwise not gonna work. Because you need to know what's okay. Now, what else I could do? I was talking here, I was just about telling that there is a tool in that is available for us in mySQL. If you do not want to use load data, you could use that tool. I'm going to tell you this, and we're going to go to a short break, okay? There's a tool in mySQL, which I use it very often. Easier than using load data. This is called mySQL import. MySQL import, okay? MySQL import, okay? It needs your -u for the user, -p for the password. These are standard in all of the and -h for host. These are the standard, okay, in all of the commands. Very similar to the mySQL command. And now you're going to have columns equal. Now you need to specify the name of the columns in your table, right? Column in this case could be what? Login ID, password, user ID, GID, comments, home dir, and so you need to put comments like that. So you're going to have login ID, comma, password, comma, and so forth. All of those items, you're going to put one after each other. These are the columns that you need to use, okay? If you want to, when you're transferring the file, if you want to do the compress, you could use --compress, it's optional to compress the file before doing that, okay? --fields optionally enclosed by equal whatever, you just put this, for example. Is that okay? Fields optionally enclosed by whatever. Fields terminated by. Terminated by. I just use a character, for example, tab. Lines. Terminated by, again I put new lines, local, as I explained it for you, local over there, dash dash lock tables. That's a very good option. Okay, your table when you're doing that will be locked, so nobody can access your table before finishing that. Okay, this for security. Dash dash verbose. This will give you, when you're processing, it gives you a lot of information. How many records are dumping into your table? Record number 1 down, record number 2 down. So it will be some extra information. Okay. And finally, import this. And finally, you're going to put your database. You have to specify your database. And finally, you're going to put your text file. Okay. So you could put all of this together, okay, or separate line, doesn't matter. MySQL import, do this, user ID password, dash dash columns equal this. If you need to have compress, if you don't put it, no compress. Dash dash fields option equal this, if you want to have it. Dash dash field terminated by this, if you want to have it. Lines terminated by that, if you want it. Local, necessary, you need to do that. Lock tables, good idea. Verbose if you want. Name of the database and name of the file. In this case would be etc passwd. In fact, if you want to know, this command is a wrapper around that. So almost everything here, you just change the name and made it different. The difference is this should be done inside mySQL. Okay, this is the shell command. Okay, that's a shell command. You should be done inside your mySQL. Okay? The rest of them are pretty much the same. Let's go for a short break. After the break, we'll come back, and if we still have time, I'm going to give you more information about this. Okay?
For the shell command, if we already have the existing table, so what would the
For the
result-
shell command, if you already have what?
the existing table in the database?
If you have
Like, does it gonna create the table? You have to create the table.
Yes. Let me tell you, very good question. As you see, I didn't mention any table here, right? Okay. I didn't put any table. The table name automatically will be created based on the name. The system is going to remove the extension, and that's going to be a table name. So in this example, the table name is going to be what? EMP. Okay? So whatever the name of your file is, with no extension, will be the name of the table. Okay? Table will not be created automatically. You need to already have the table ready. Okay? Otherwise, it's not going to follow. The table you should have that table already available. Otherwise, so at the beginning of this, in your shell script, you're going to create a table, and after that, use import, SQL import to do that, right? Following. So your script in this case would have 3 sections. The first part here is creating a table. Second part is loading the data of the table, and the last part would be running some queries. Okay? In any language, in shell script, Java, whatever you. Okay? Follow? It's very simple job. It's not very hard. Due is next week. We have 1 week to do that. Okay? And let's go for a short break. After the break, just go and do the midterm exam. I have made 10 questions for you for the midterm exam for at most half an hour, but you're gonna have time all the way to 10 o'clock. Okay? So let's go for 10 minutes break. After the break, we get back together.